Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about toxins and our immunity system and kind of like, the relationship between them. And this comes from a Dr. Jocker's article on the 7 toxins that weaken our immunity and how we can detox. If you have any questions, feel free to give Dr. Justine a quick text. I wanted to welcome Dr. Justine. She is our passionate warrior and leader here at Justine Blainey Wellness Center, and she believes everyone deserves a healthcare team that focuses on prevention, optimal health, and open communication, which is exactly what she has designed for her center. Please
Good,
help me welcome Dr. Justine.
good. Hey, sorry, my glasses got all fogged up because it's so warm. We have some amazing talks coming up, along with today, of course, about toxins. But we're talking about how to breathe and different breathing techniques, and of course, so important, back strengthening. It's not just important to stretch, but how to strengthen your back. Coming up with Emma, who's a kinesiologist and personal trainer. We have how to deal with water, improving your water, and improving your family's health. So, lots of great information today. Always bringing great stuff to you. And we talk about the 5 essentials of health with Max Living, maximizing your mind, maximizing your nervous system that controls all function of every cell, tissue in your body. And we talk about maximizing your muscles, maximizing your nutrition. And the 5th essential is minimizing toxins. So we have this article from Dr. Jockers about 7 toxins that can weaken you and how to detox them. So great hints coming up on ways to detox. So when you look at your immune system, it's pretty cool. It's related to your lymph nodes, it's related to your adenoids, how you breathe, your thymus, and here, your spleen, your stomach, your skin. Your immune system's made up of all these amazing parts. It's your defense system. And defense wins championships, right? Well, the same thing when your defense system and your immune system, its job is to protect you from bacteria, viruses, fungi, and toxins. And when our body is toxic, then it cannot function the same. It's like weakening the defense, like in hockey, playing shorthanded when you're toxic. So when your immune system is down, this is when you're more prone to getting sick, but also brain fog and affecting our ability to remember or to have energy. And it can be affected also by allergens like pollens or foods. And so it can also be affected by inflammation. And that's why we have many talks about anti-inflammatory diet and looking to protect our temple. So we want a balanced immune system. You can have autoimmune concerns or external threats. Now, autoimmune are things that are much more difficult to help, like Hashimoto's, things, areas where you have chronic and basically congenital. You're more born with things like that affect your thyroid or rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. Or type 1 diabetes. It's not that you can't manage these, but it takes a lot more work. External threats can come from allergen reactions. And for me, for example, that causes severe allergies or eczema. It can affect breathing or sinuses. And all of these can lead to more chronic diseases, such as cancer. So, getting our immune system under control with your whole healthcare team, your medical doctor, your chiropractor, your naturopath, getting our stress down and our inflammation down can truly make a long-term difference, not a short-term difference. So these toxins, how do they affect us? Basically, they build up like that bucket system. You'll see it builds up, it builds up, it builds up, and it goes right from your feet right to your sinuses. It could be affected, that bucket overflowing, by chronic stress, processed crappy foods, overuse of different medications or drugs or pathogens, environmental toxins, food sensitivities, frequent uses of other areas that can be toxic. So, some things you can't control, but definitely stress and poor lifestyle that affect this bucket theory are things that you control. And that's one of the things with a wellness care team that can help you. So if we look at the 7 threats to your immune system, molds and mycotoxins, glyphosate, phthalates, heavy metals, organophosphates, xylene, and microbial endotoxins. These are the top 7 according to Dr. Jockers. So if we go through all 7, glyphosate, we hear about this in the news all the time. It's a widely spread use in different food industry and highly, highly toxic. The goal is, to have grass without weeds or gardens without weeds or vegetables without weeds. The problem is it's very toxic to us, just like those weeds. And there's been a ton of research that we want to have our foods to be glyphosate free. When we look at the toxins in the intestinal tract, you'll see the intestinal tract is like your second part of your immune system, that brain gut connection. And it's very, very, very important to have proper gut health. And that's why you want to be working with a naturopath or a holistic nutritionist to make sure your gut is healthy, because your immune system is also housed in your gut. Number 2 is molds and mycotoxins. And I'm very, very susceptible to that. When I go into a room where you can smell that it's dusty or moldy, immediately have trouble breathing. The worst part is the people who don't have a reaction, because then they don't know to get out. Some of the most common types of mycotoxins are aflatoxins, ones that can fly around, arachotoxins, and trichothysines. These are the top 3, but honestly, there's many. And the challenges is they can be hidden behind the walls, hidden so that it's not like you see black marks on the walls. It can be behind the baseboards. It can be in your running shoes. It can be in your bathroom. It can be in your storage areas. It can be in your kitchen. It can be behind the wallpaper. So this is where it's important that, deep cleaning, but also making sure you do a thorough checkup every 6 months. It is also, if you are having challenge with toxins, to make sure you're talking to a naturopath and to help it affect you physically, but then also have a specialist to help remove those molds and toxins. Number 3 are phthalates. These are often found in cosmetics. Great news now, you can go to Sephora and they'll label the clean products. So and there are lots of different websites now where you can see the clean products, and many, many shampoos, conditioners. You can look for phthalate free. This is very difficult if you're traveling, because the majority of the products that are cheaper have a ton of phthalates. But careful, they're in your personal care products, food products, detergents, cleaning products, hairsprays, aftershaves, soaps, shampoos, perfumes. And it's very, very serious because the research shows that this can affect your brain. So when you look at these phthalates, some of the ways to avoid BPAs, be very careful. And you'll look for, especially bottles for babies, they'll say BPA free. But these BPAs can affect and kind of mimic estrogen. And we don't want to be estrogen dominant. That can affect our menses, or it can affect PMS, it can affect menopause, and it can affect things like estrogen dominant cancers. So, looking at baby bottles, any types of plastic or non disposable products, or plastics or bottles, canned products, and even paper receipts. So that's kind of crazy because, if you are trying to keep your receipts, you have to remember that touching them all the time will get on your hands. So you'll see in this chart lots of ways to try and avoid PPAs, and really getting away from plastics, cans, or products in a plastic container is your number one way. So look at glass containers to contain your food in the fridge, especially glass in the dishwasher, and no plastic in the dishwasher. Number 4, heavy metals. Do recommend talking to a naturopath and a specialist to do heavy metal cleanses. You can get very, very sick if you do a heavy metal cleanse or detox improperly. And these heavy metals, they can go around through your bodies and be affected in things that you eat or you drink, or you breathe in. And so typically trying to do a heavy metal detox annually with a specialist is a great idea. These heavy metals can be things like lead, found in different types of paints, waters, contaminated foods, tobacco. Arsenic can be found in pesticides, apple juice, rice products, glasswork. So that's pretty scary because these two products are things that we don't, we might regularly use. Mercury can be found in seafood. That's why you want to have uh, wild seafood, not farm seafood. Careful when removing dental amalgams, and making sure you're talking to your dentist or getting to an organic dentist to have amalgams removed. That means they have to have a super duper venting system. It looks like a big, massive white tube, and it has to be dispensed very, very safely because it's toxic to the dentist and the dentist hygienist as well. So any silver tooth fillings, those are ones you want to remove. Cadmium, found in people who do metal work or work with tobacco and different types of food. And aluminum, as we know, can affect the brain and affect things like Alzheimer's, and that can be in canned foods, waters, and there's no use for aluminum. We have to be careful not to use antiperspirants because sweating is good for you. Then we get into number 5, organophosphates. And these can affect the brain development, and they're found in toxic effects, and they can affect in things like phosphoric acid and alcohol. And it is in insect killers and pesticides. So it can be affected in the agriculture and the household area. Again, making sure these are very, very serious because they can affect brain development. And they've done a lot of research showing that pregnant women, when they look at the umbilical cord, they can have a ton of these toxins in the umbilical cord. So that's pretty scary stuff in our infants. So very important for our pregnant women to be very, very careful with their foods and what they drink, and what types of farms are around, and different types of pesticides used outside. And second last are xylenes, or xylol, or dimethylbenzene. These are 3 isomeric dimethylbenzenes, and all of them are very, very toxic. They can be found in films, dyes, fibers, feedstock, fuel, gasoline. And so, again, when they look at these toxins in babies, they found that 287 chemicals found in these babies' umbilical cords. So moms are trying. We're doing our very best to to try and do the best for our babies, and yet it can still be a toxic environment. So that's why we're bringing this up, trying to do your detoxes annually, if not as the seasons change, quarterly, and talking to a naturopath, talking to a holistic nutritionist so that you can do this safely. And goal is prior to getting pregnant if you can. And number 7 is endotoxins, LPS, lipopolysaccharides, or endotoxins. They can be found in bacteria and then released. And then it can lead to SIBO, which is an overgrowth of bacteria in the stomach and the small intestine. Can be very, very serious because you could be eating and not gaining muscle, getting weak, losing energy, and it's affecting that gut lining. So as Dr. Udani will say, that gut lining is like tissue paper, easily affected, easily broken into, and that's where you get that leaky gut syndrome, overgrowth of bacteria, so that you're not getting the energy and the absorption of the materials that you need. Again, all of these toxins, very, very serious. So super important. With dealing with your immune system. And so there's some great steps. Number 1 is avoidance, right? Like stay away what causes damage. And this damage can come through your lungs, your skin, your gut, and then it's affecting your liver. And those toxins are going to exit through your skin, like sweating, your kidneys, going to the bathroom, your colon, and how you breathe out these toxins. And when we're toxic, it's going to affect, the toxins often go to our fat cells. So if you hit weight loss and you hit a plateau, often it's because we're toxic. It can affect our bone, our livers, our brain, our joints, our muscles. So these detoxes, that's why the step 2, looking towards doing a detox or an elimination process. But remember, when you're eliminating, it's not just sweating it out and smelling bad. You could have headaches. You could have stomach ache. At the beginning, you could have diarrhea. So it's important to have that coach for you along the way. So we've got great ways to boost your immune system. Again, this comes from Dr. Jocker's great information. So number 1, anti-inflammatory nutrition plan. So here are some great things that you can add. Apple cider, lemons and limes. Add the lemons and limes, apple cider to your water and apple cider, just a shot a day. Bone broth, my husband makes it and then freezes it. Mushrooms, onions, olive oils, ginger and water, ginger and tea, and garlic. Yum, yum, yum. If you're going to have food, add garlic. And then eliminating those foods like sugars, processed meats, deep fried foods, fast foods, junk foods, pop sodas, sugary drinks, juices, artificial ingredients. If you can't read it, can't spell it, don't know what it is, don't eat it. And typically these low fat products are damaging as well. So number 1, eliminate, and then an anti-inflammatory diet, which we have numerous talks on. Number 2 is looking at intermittent fasting. Might be just eating breakfast at lunch, starting to just shorten the time periods that you eat. So maybe you're eating between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m., or you're eating between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Shortening those periods. And if it's difficult, then try to do that a couple times a week. Just start with a couple days a week and then slowly increasing it. As we do intermittent fasting, it does get easier. It causes autophagy, which means get rid of those bad cells so that they die and slough off. It reduces your inflammation, improves your microbiome, so it improves that gut health, and it regenerates that immune system. Number 2 is lots and lots of water, especially in these warm months. Have water everywhere. I typically have 4 or 5 water bottles on the go at all times to make it easier. That's going to help you filter the junk out. At times when you're sweating a lot, you might need healthy salts like Himalayan salt or pink salt to help those energy. And just be cautious that you're not looking towards Gatorade, or products that's gonna kill your teeth, but that sort of advertise for healthy minerals and energy, but are truly not healthy for you. Number 4 is exercise and movement. It's beautiful outside. So get outside, get moving, get grounding, get your feet moving outside, whether you do Tai Chi, yoga, stretching on the deck, going for a walk, going for a hike, going for a bike ride. Getting the heart moving, getting the body sweating is going to help the body with improving its overall tempo and helping to get rid of toxins and improving your immune system. So when we look at the exercises, things we can do: a stroll in the park, a bike ride, a walk on our lunch hour, stretch on our lunch hour, walking with a pet, exercise on the deck, going gardening. If you don't have a garden, join a charity garden. Offer to garden for a friend, using the stairs instead of an elevator. And number 5 is improving our gut motility. We are supposed to go to the bathroom every single day. Go to the bathroom every single day is the goal. We want to be able to get regular bowel movements that are soft, fluffy, and easy to pass. If you're having challenges, not going every day, going every other day, every third day, or your child, talk to Dr. Udani or a naturopath, holistic nutritionist, to improve that gut health. Not only will it improve your immune system, your energy, but it'll help with calm brain function, reducing inflammation, your skin, and it will even help with inflammation affecting pain. Number 6 is get out in the sun. So it's nice now. Be careful, of course, of getting sunburned, but we need that vitamin D. And typically, vitamin D is 45 minutes outside in a bathing suit or shorts and a tank top, but getting sun outside a 45 minutes. If not, definitely look to see if you need get your blood work. Ask to have vitamin D and your vitamin B tested. It's typically not unless you ask for it. I one time had to pay, I don't know, it was like $30 because I asked for it, but it was worth it. You want to know if you're getting enough vitamin D because that's going to help your body with this toxicity. You'll see the chart there that vitamin D is going to help with your moods, your depression, your sleep, which your strength, and all of these areas are going to affect your immune system. So we want to make sure our vitamin D is checked, and vitamin D and vitamin K typically work together. Number 7, this is beautiful weather now. Get grounding. If you can't be in the beach watching in the sand or the ocean, like where I live, as easily, then out in the grass. Get your time in the earth to help get that electromagnesium. Number 8 is dry brushing. I tell a lot of patients about this, especially those who've done chemotherapy and might have like a chemo arm or a chemo foot, which means like a kind of numbness, tingling. They can't feel it. Dry brushing improves your lymphatic flow and your circulation. It's not just about getting that dead skin off, and it does reduce stress. So once you get that flow of circulation, your whole body circulating, get those toxins and getting rid of those dead cells easier so you can eliminate easier, that's going to help your overall body reduce stress, which will improve your immune system. Again, according to Dr. Jockers, we're going through all of his hints using Epsom salt baths. Just a quarter cup in a bath, very warm, very relaxing, good for your muscles as long as you're hydrated, will help our body to detox. He talks about 1 to 2 cups. I got to tell you, if I've done 1 to 2 cups, it feels like grainy in the bathtub. So personally, I would use a half cup. But you find your level, and it also may depend just on the size of your bathtub, so that if you have, maybe I have a smaller bathtub and that's why, to give it, and also giving it some time to swish around so that you don't feel the grains. Number 10 is using different saunas or infrared, red light therapy. Again, it's all about getting our body to sweat out those toxins. As we do that, these saunas will help with growth hormone, reducing inflammation, helping with insulin sensitivity, and helping with detoxification as we're sweating. So these are options if you don't have one, like myself. Getting sweating often is what I would do, but also many patients might use some of our community gyms that do have saunas, and giving your opportunity to do your workout, do your stretch, and then do a 10-minute sauna to get a really good sweat. And those that are over 70, our gyms in Brampton and community are now complimentary. So take advantage of that to improve your exercise, your sweating, and you can take advantage of the pools and the saunas. Number 11 is air filtration system. And this came very clear to me because I went to visit my daughter in Idaho, and just new environment. Next thing you know, I'm sneezing, sinuses, headache, low energy. And we bought her an air filter system just from Costco. I didn't buy the highest level. And all of a sudden, the air was easier. I was able to breathe easier, less headache. So, very, very important. If you're more prone to allergens, you're more prone to inflammation, then looking at these air filters. And if you look at some of the dentists, they have like high powered air filtration systems. So there's definitely different levels and quality, but starting maybe at the beginning with the lower levels and seeing if it's going to help remove those pollens, which is going to remove the stress on your system. Less stress on your system, better immune system. And number 12 is oil pulling. If you're prone to cavities, prone to gum disease, receding gums, prone to inflammation, oil pulling, you can use coconut oil, olive oil, and you just like that, the oil between your teeth. I can't say that I do it daily, but trying to make sure you get it done weekly. is going to improve your overall oral health, which is going to improve your immune system, help with cleansing. Once you do the pulling, you can spit it out. You don't have to like eat it. It's going to improve your overall energy, your immune system. It's going to help your throat. It can help your sleep. So very inexpensive way to help reduce stress on your overall system is oil pulling. Number 13, a lot of naturopaths talk about this. This is on many podcasts, using castor oil packs. This isn't just for pain or menstrual cramps. You can use the castor oil. It's a very bioavailable oil that is the best oil to penetrate through the body. You can create like just an old dishcloth, an oil cloth, pack it with the oil and put it against your skin. Then you could put saran wrap or a plastic bag around it, a garbage bag over it, so the oil doesn't go everywhere. And you could use it on your stomach or your leg if you have an inflammatory area. And you can also use it to massage the belly or massage the leg, arm, and it helps the body to improve circulation and improve areas of inflammation. So many people have used this also with arthritis. So it's one of the ways to help the body increase lymphatic flow, increase circulation, which then reduces stress, which improves your immune system. Number 14, please be very, very careful with this. This is from Dr. Jocker's article. When you're using bioactive carbons, it can also be toxic. So you want to make sure you're getting support in how to do this. These carbons will bind to toxins, and then the goal is you're going to eliminate those toxins. So cautious, you do not do this one on your own. Yes, you can buy them at the health food store, but be very, very, very carefully because it's one of the areas that can cause damage as well. And lastly, but very, very important, is taking care of your nervous system. As a chiropractor, we remove stress on your nervous system. We remove those areas of subluxation. That's areas of twist or turn in your spinal cord, pinching those nerves, if you want to use that slang term. An area of subluxation is an area of pressure on the nervous system. And just the weight of a dime, pressure on the nervous system, can cause damage. Over 60% of pressure on those nerves that might go in your neck to your thymus, affecting your immune system, or your thyroid, or to your sinus glands. Many times we are adjusting patients to help their ears and their sinuses. And the nerves in your neck also are going to affect your breathing and your heart rate. So looking at that C curve in your neck, and test, don't guess. Make sure you've had that x-ray. If it's great, wonderful. Just like if you go to the dentist and you don't have a cavity, wonderful. Go back in 6 months and make sure you haven't created more cavities because you continue to eat. Well, same thing with our bodies. We're on computers, we're on phones, we're driving a car, we're sleeping on different pillows. We may have different odd sleeping patterns. We're working, we're doing physical work. All of that can cause repetitive stress and damage to the spine. And that's why our spines need regular checkups, just like your teeth need regular checkups. Our body, if you have a checkup, it's great, wonderful. Then you'll feel good. You'll know that you're doing well. But if there is a problem, when do you want to address it? That's always our choice. Do we address it now, or do we wait till it's later and it's arthritic? That's a challenge with the spine. You can, pull a tooth, you can replace a tooth, but with your spine, you cannot replace those vertebrae. You cannot replace those nerves. And as it becomes arthritic, it becomes very, very serious and much more difficult to manage. The more your spine's crooked or out of line, research shows that it increases your risk of arthritis and damage to the spine by over 500%. The spine and nervous system and stress on the spine and nervous system weakens your immune system. So chiropractors are specialists of the spine. Check out with your chiropractor. Make sure you have those regular spinal checkups. Talk to your naturopath, your nutritionist, to make sure you're creating a healthy tempo to reduce areas of inflammation and reduce those toxins that we talked about that are just everywhere, so that your immune system is stronger. So our goal is to be able to help you. These toxins are everywhere. Please make sure you get those checkups. We have lots of great information on a regular basis for you. So remember, we have talks coming up about breathing, back strengthening, and how to have family health. We're here for you. Awesome talks. I look forward to being with you soon. Always do a review. We're trying to bring new information to you every single week. This is volunteer. This is something that we love, we're passionate about because we care about you. So please pass it on and look forward to chatting with you soon.